The Hare Who Won and What He Did Next. Everyone loves the feeling of winning, of being the first to cross the finish line. But have you ever thought about what comes right after that happy moment? In a bright, sunny meadow, a speedy little hare was about to discover that the most important part of winning happens after the race is over. Harlow was a young hare, and he was, without a doubt, the fastest runner in the entire meadow. His long legs could carry him like the wind, and he had been training for weeks for the annual meadow marathon. His only real competitor was Sheldon, a tortoise who was not fast at all, but was famous for being incredibly steady and never ever giving up. The day of the big race arrived. The starting whistle blew and whoosh! Harlow was off. He sped past the berry bushes, zipped around the big oak tree, and leaped over the babbling brook. He was so far ahead, he couldn't even see the other runners behind him. As he crossed the finish line, a huge cheer went up from the crowd. He had won! Harlow's chest puffed out with pride. He did a little victory dance and proudly accepted the grand prize, a shiny medal made from a polished river stone. He felt like the king of the world. He sat down on a tuft of grass to admire his medal. A few minutes later, he saw a small, determined shape slowly but steadily approaching the finish line. It was Sheldon the tortoise. He wasn't sad or defeated. He was just finishing his race. He crossed the line with a tired but satisfied smile. A few animals clapped politely, but most of the crowd was already starting to leave. Sheldon looked around, took a sip of water, and began his slow journey home. Harlow watched him go, and a strange feeling started to bubble up in his heart. His shiny medal suddenly didn't feel as shiny. Winning was fun, but seeing the second-place finisher walk away all alone didn't feel very good at all. He remembered what his father had always told him. Winning a race makes you a fast runner, Harlow. But what you do after you win makes you a true champion. Harlow knew what he had to do. He hopped up and raced over to Sheldon. "Sheldon, wait!" he called. The tortoise turned. "Congratulations on the win, Harlow," he said with a genuine smile. "You were incredibly fast." "Thank you," Harlow said, his ears drooping a little. "But you were incredibly steady. You never gave up. That's also a way of winning, isn't it?" He unlooped the shiny medal from around his neck. "A victory isn't as much fun if you're the only one celebrating. Would you do a victory lap with me?" Sheldon's eyes widened in surprise, and then he broke into a huge, slow grin. "I would be honored, Harlow," he said. And so, the two of them, the fastest and the steadiest, walked a slow, happy lap together around the race course. All the other animals saw this and started cheering again, louder than before. They weren't just cheering for a winner anymore, they were cheering for a true champion. Harlow learned that day that the best victory is not the one you celebrate by yourself, but the one you share with a friend. And while Harlow the hare learned that being a gracious winner is the biggest prize of all, a little girl in a cozy bedroom was about to learn a very different lesson about what happens to the world while she is fast asleep. Subscribe to Storiella so you don't miss her magical sleepy time adventure.